All right, good afternoon, everybody. It's good to see you. Good to be out on a beautiful day. Since we got some good distance here, I'm going to take this mask off. I'm going to start with just a very brief update on coronavirus transmission. We continue to see a slight decrease in the rate of new hospitalizations, which we talked a little bit about yesterday, and that's obviously good news. We're still going to be very cautious before drawing any conclusions from it. We know that the reason that the curve has begun to flatten, and we hope that at some point we'll be able to say that we're past the peak, it's because of the work that everybody is doing to respect social distancing requirements, to work together by staying apart, to wear your masks, to wash your hands. All of those things matter, and all of those things are the reason that hopefully we'll be able to look back and say that this is about the point where we reach the peak. But again, even as we move past this point, it's going to be a long and slow road to reopening. That's, I know, going to be difficult for all of us because we're all feeling frustrated and ready to get out there and return to normal. But the reality is that return is going to be gradual. It's going to be incremental. It's going to be 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We've all got to stay patient. We've all got to stay disciplined. Now, throughout this entire pandemic experience of the last 6 weeks or so, we've encouraged everybody, even as you're keeping physically distant, to get out and exercise and stay healthy. And we've kept our parks open so that you can get out and go for a walk, either by yourself or with a few members of your family. We want you to do that. But if you're riding an ATV or a dirt bike, don't even think about it. We don't want ATVs and dirt bikes tearing down our streets, tearing through our parks. I will tell you, having spent a lot of time knocking on doors throughout this city and talking to residents, it is one of the top quality of life complaints that I hear as I talk to neighbors and residents throughout our city. It's the noise and the danger that these loud, reckless ATVs and dirt bikes pose throughout our neighborhoods, especially when they're in our parks. You know, right now we've got a lot of folks out there enjoying our parks the right way, taking walks, keeping physically distant, spread out throughout the parks. In that situation, these ATVs and dirt bikes are even more dangerous. And so we wanted to come here to do something a little bit different. We've been having a lot of press conferences talking specifically about the coronavirus updates. We wanted to mix it up a little bit today and send a very clear and very strong message that Hartford is not the place to joyride with ATVs and dirt bikes. They're loud, they're obnoxious, and they're dangerous. And our police department has been doing outstanding work safely taking these vehicles off the streets. They're going to continue to do that. Again, this is for the sake of our residents. It's for the sake of strong neighborhoods. It's to address one of the top quality of life concerns that our residents raise, and to keep our community safe. So I'm hugely grateful to the men and women of the Hartford Police Department for all the work that they do. They have been working day in and day out. They always do, but also through this strange period over the last 6 weeks, to keep our community safe in every way they can. And I'm hugely grateful for them for the work that they've done in responding to this nuisance and this danger throughout our city. In a minute, we're going to crush 31 vehicles. That's, I think it's 18 dirt bikes, is that right? And 13 ATVs. These are vehicles that have been seized over the last few years, that have gone through a judicial process, and that will now be destroyed. If we recover stolen vehicles, as we sometimes do, those are returned to their owners. But if you're illegally riding one of these vehicles in Hartford, this is what you should expect is going to happen to your vehicle. In the last 3 weeks or so, our police have taken more than 30 additional vehicles off our streets and from our parks. I stress that because I think that because of the great work they've done, we had seen a decrease for a while. But because of the strange time we're in, we'd seen an uptick in ATVs over the last few weeks. But our police are responding. They are taking them off the streets. And at the end of the day, What's going to happen to those vehicles is the same thing that's happened to these vehicles here. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Lieutenant Cicero from the Hartford Police Department. Lieutenant, thank you again to you and the men and women of the HPD for everything you're doing.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank Corona's Auto Body for helping us out and hosting this event today. They've been a great partner with the city, and we'd like to thank them. Make no mistake about it, the Hartford Police Department Traffic Division, as well as our Street Crimes Unit, and every patrol officer out there has been tasked with getting these ATVs and dirt bikes that are being unlawfully operated off the streets of Hartford. As the mayor stated several times, this is the biggest complaint that we get from city residents, from business owners, from people that visit and play in our cities, at our parks, and frequent our restaurants and frequent all our businesses. We cannot have this kind of activity in our street. A lot of it, not only is it just unlawful, it's reckless and it's dangerous. This past week, one of the individuals who was operating one of these vehicles was a felon wanted in a shooting. Another person had a firearm on him. We recovered 2 stolen motorcycles and quads in the past couple of weeks, and a total of 6 in the past month, which have been returned. So it's not just the operation of these vehicles. There's other issues, there's other crimes that are being associated with them, and therefore, partnership with the city of Hartford, with all of our units in the Hartford Police Department, specifically our traffic division and our street crime unit, this is what we get. So there's probably over about 100 vehicles, ATVs, dirt bikes, quads, and so forth that we have seized. Right now you're seeing pretty much round 1, which is about 31 of them. As I stated earlier, as well as the mayor, none of these are stolen vehicles. The stolen vehicles have since been recovered and returned to their lawful owners. We don't want to do this. We do not want to take these off the streets. We don't want to crush the property, but we see no choice in this. We've had direct contact with the judicial system and the court system. All of these vehicles have been run through the National Crime Information Center, as well as the National Insurance Crime Bureau, and the judges have essentially put these vehicles into the hands of the Hartford Police Department and turn them over to do what we please with them. With talks with the mayor and the city, we decided this is the best course of action to send a strong message. Please, these vehicles belong in rural areas. That's why they were created. The city of Hartford is not a rural area. Please, utilize these vehicles in a safe manner in those rural environments, not in the city of Hartford. With that being said, Mr. Mayor is going to go on here, and he's going to crush the first round of vehicles.
I just want to say thanks so much, Lieutenant. I just want to say one other thing. So we're doing this today at Corona's Auto Body, not just because doing it at Corona's Auto Body sounded like the right place to do it right now, but also because this is a Hartford business, family-owned business that's been in operation since 1937, and we are proud to have them here and grateful for their long-time commitment to the city of Hartford. So with that, I'm going to join Pat Corona, the owner of Corona's Auto Body, and we're going to go crush these vehicles. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.